We are watching the Wolfman trailer. I'm Antonia Carlotta. This is Universally Me. And literally just now, while I was on my way home, the Wolfman trailer dropped. It is starring Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner. It is by Leigh Whannell. It's with Universal and Blumhouse. And it is coming out January of 2025. I have been kind of waiting for this movie. Werewolves are not always my favorite supernatural creature, but I am a big Leigh Whannell fan. I'm a huge Julia Garner fan. I think that this movie has a ton of potential, and I'm really excited to see the trailer. A few years ago, I actually made a video that was like everything you should know about the Wolfman before the remake. At the time, Ryan Gosling was actually supposed to play the Wolfman. Obviously, that's not the case anymore, but it's still a video worth watching because it talks all about the 1941 Wolfman starring Lon Chaney Jr. And you know, that movie for sure is going to be a feeder into this one. We wouldn't have this movie without that one. And I think that we're going to see a lot of, I feel like we will see sort of homages to that original one. I've also made a video about the Werewolf of London from 1935, which is starring Henry Hull. And that's really the predecessor for the Wolfman, which is the predecessor for this. So it might also be worth watching that video too. But right now, we are going to watch the trailer together. I haven't seen it yet. In other trailer reactions that I've done, you guys have asked that first I watch the trailer like all the way through so that you can kind of see my initial reaction and get the rhythm of it, and then to go through and start kind of stopping it and saying my insights and diving into things a little bit deeper. So I'm going to try that today. It feels a little bit vulnerable to have you guys just watch me for 2 minutes while we're not talking to each other, but what you guys want, you guys get. So let's go. I mean, already I kind of like this.
Ginger, are you okay? Look at me. Look at me. Are you hurt? Are you hurt?
Very cool. Very cool shot. Very cool opening.
Get out. Hey, no. Don't move. Climb up to the window right there. What are you doing? You'll be okay. You okay?
Saw that coming.
We have to leave right now. Run.
It's January.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? We were in an accident.
Daddy, are we gonna die?
No, it's my job to protect you.
And we were attacked. I think my husband was infected.
It's interesting she says infected.
Like.
Love that. What if someone you loved?
Daddy? Daddy?
What's wrong with
Daddy?
He got sick.
Became.
What is happening to me?
Something else.
Can you understand me? Yeah. You're scaring me.
I like it.
Leave, Daddy's mean. Hurry, Mommy is coming. Come on.
Okay. January 17th. First, right off the bat, I actually think it looks really awesome. One thing I'm very curious about, it looks like this is a cast of literally 3 people as far as I can tell, or maybe 4, right? Because you have Julia Garner, you have Christopher Abbott, and then you have their daughter. Which, let me say, it took me a bit in the trailer to realize that Julia Garner is actually supposed to be his wife and not his daughter. It wasn't until she says something like,
Hurry, Mommy is coming.
I kind of realized. I'm not upset with the casting, I guess, but I'm almost wondering about whatever. That's like a little bit of a side thing. One thing that I'm really happy seeing in this is a lot of like vibrant colors, really cool like lighting choices. One of my videos that I'm gonna do soon is about German Expressionism and how that style really shaped the Universal monsters. And I feel like I saw lots of bits of that in the lights and the shadows and different choices that they made. So that made me really excited. Basically, let's just go back to the beginning and kind of go like piece by piece through this. And I'll let you know my thoughts. I'll let you know where I see maybe connections to things and just kind of what sparks in my mind. Okay, so first off, right off the bat, I really love this shot sideways in the truck. First off, there's almost like an ethereal aspect to it, the way that it's slowly tilting. It also gives me that uncomfy, like I find myself tilting in the other direction to counteract, like once I realize what's going on. So I think this is a cool way to start. I'm also wondering, and maybe someone can fill me in on this or like let me know, the daughter's name is Ginger, and of course I know that there's the werewolf like Ginger Snaps, or the movie Ginger Snaps. Is there another like Ginger reference to werewolves? Is this referencing something, or is it just totally a coincidence? Just wondering.
Are you okay? Look at me. Look at me. Charlie, are you hurt? Are you hurt?
This is a very cool way to start the trailer, and I love the lights of the truck. This is a good, I'm going to say, I know that this trailer is 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's maybe a little long for a trailer, but I appreciate that they spent this time at the beginning of it, like building the tension. So I'm already like a little on edge going into the rest of the trailer.
You can do it. You'll be okay. You okay?
And I was trying to kind of figure this out when the trailer was on. I'm assuming that this is when we're going to get... I'm assuming that this chronologically is actually at the beginning of the movie, or pretty much the beginning. And this might be our first glimpse of the werewolf, or the one that starts it all, that starts us on this journey. So I'm wondering if this is legitimately where he gets like bit or scratched or whatever their version of this is going to be. But I guess you can't give it all away here. I want to know a little more about what happened there.
Right now. Run.
And again, this is such a maybe silly thing to point out, but it like means so much to me personally. The fact that the green is so vivid and vibrant here. I really appreciate that. I think to even the Nosferatu trailer, I think to some other sort of horror movies, and I feel like they are just so boring or bland. They're all just gray and drab, and it like doesn't... I understand some people see that as like creating a mood, but for me it just dulls everything, and it dulls how like emotional I can get watching the movie. And so I appreciate here that I'm seeing such a stark contrast between the grays and the blacks, and then the greens of the trees and the grass. And again, where I'm talking about like some of the German expressionism, like I know sometimes the shadow is just a shadow, but here I don't know, I think that that's really a stylistic choice. This January. Also, are we under the assumption like Is Universal not optimistic about this movie that they didn't release it around Halloween? They're not releasing it at necessarily a super popular time to go to the movies. What is that saying about how they think about this movie? Based on the trailer, I'm really excited, but I don't feel like January 17th is necessarily the biggest time of year to go to movies.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? We were in an accident.
Daddy, are we gonna die?
No, it's my job to.
I also, I'm thinking now to Lon Chaney Jr., the 1941 Wolfman. A lot of people saw him as, I think, like corn-fed and all-American, right? Or words that are used to describe him a lot. I especially hear that when we're talking about Son of Dracula, which I know people think that he was the wrong pick for. But I think for the Wolfman, I think he was a pretty good pick, especially because in that movie, it's like this curse that's been put upon him that he didn't really want. And I see a lot of Lon Chaney Jr. in what I'm getting here on screen right now. And so right off the bat, then I say, I think that was a good casting choice. And I think I understand where they're going with his character. And I think that's done well.
And we were attacked.
Also, I don't know. Maybe it's just the angular nature of this. I like this wound.
I think my husband
Also, she says
was
we
infected.
were attacked. We were attacked. My husband was infected. Interesting choice of wording. I like that too. The fact, like, think about the opening scene. We had this world that was turning sideways. And again, I'm seeing that. And later on, I think there was that scene with all the lights. I think we're going to get some really interesting, like, camera choices and lighting choices and things that make the movie feel, almost more than 2D, more than just on a screen, and that change your sense of reality. I also really love this. And I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into something that doesn't exist, but I'm noticing the vibrancy of the green on his shirt right now. Everything else is sort of blacked out. I'm thinking back to when they're running to the house, and again, everything's so dark except for the vibrant green. I wonder if there's some connection there. Is there a deeper meaning? I don't know. Maybe somebody can weigh in. This is not necessarily my strong suit, but I see that. What if someone you loved? I think it became
Daddy?
someone different.
Daddy? What's wrong with Daddy?
He got sick.
He got sick.
What is happening to me?
I'm curious as well, is this going to connect to like the original werewolf lore? Is this connected to a full moon? Will he be transitioning and transitioning out? Is this just a one-time thing and now he's a wolfman forever? Where are we going? Because this makes it look a little bit like he's just maybe it's 3 cast members, 1 location, and 1 night. And so maybe this will be something where at the end, he goes back to normal and we just wait for the next full moon. Something else.
Can you understand me?
This room, I think, is very cool. Again, I think that sometimes they're going to play with our sense of reality. I wonder if we'll almost be a little bit in his own head as he's trying to make sense of what's happening to him. And I think this looks very cool.
Yeah. You're scaring me.
I mean, I really like the claw. I think that was a little controversial with some people, or maybe just with my friends. That freaks me out. I think there's another movie that has the grabbing the knife thing. I can't handle it. That's what, like, the intrusive thoughts sometimes will be something like that in my head.
Daddy, it's me.
And that shot of the trees. I don't know if that's from the original, but personally, I really enjoy that. And I think it has that like German expressionism influence in it. I hope that we get more shots like that. Hurry, mommy, he's coming. That's when I started realizing that she was her mom and not her sister or another daughter or something. This, like, I knew it was coming. It's such a trope in just horror in general and that psychological buildup. Like, I knew he was going to be right there. I probably even, like, ESP'd the windshield wipers a little bit, but I love the idea. I always find a little humor in thinking about the Wolfman just like sitting out there on the hood waiting for that moment so he could give her the best scare, almost like in a haunted house or something. But anyway, I knew that was coming, but I appreciate it nonetheless. It's fun. Oh, you know what else I wonder? I think back to the original 1935 Werewolf of London. I think to the 1941 Wolfman, or, you know, really any of those old movies. And sometimes they would get really creative with their transformations. Like 1941, they played with a lot of like just camera techniques where the fur would like fade in and out as he's doing his transformation. One of my favorite transformations is the 1935 Werewolf of London, when he's going behind the columns outside of his house, and with each one he's transformed a little more. And I don't know why, that's the transformation that gets me more than any of them, and it almost gives me a little anxiety or tenseness. I wonder if we'll get any cool transformation moments in this film, whether it's transforming in, out. Again, I don't know what that's going to look like in this movie, but there could be so much potential. I hope they don't lean too much into CGI. I hope that there's some practical effects, practical costuming going on. We don't necessarily need to see the entire Wolfman. We don't need, you know, all of that all the time. But if they can give us some cool moments of that happening, I think not even just with me, I think with a lot of people, that would win a lot of goodwill. I also, not that I'm a designer, I'm not a designer, but I have some thoughts about this font and what it looks like. I do like the O. I think it's reminiscent of, you know, a full moon or that vibe, but I don't know, maybe it's just an O. I like that some of them look a little scratchy, but they also look very metallic. When we see this experience at an IMAX, this looks more like superhero font and like it's made out of steel versus a horror film. I can't pick fonts out for my stuff to save my life, but this was somebody's job, and I think they could have made a slightly different choice here. But like that's getting really nitpicky. I will say that overall, I'm really excited. Having seen this trailer now, I'm excited. Like I said, werewolves are not always my number one thing. It's not what I go out of my way to see, but I'll be in theaters on opening weekend to see this movie. I will invite my friends, and I'm not going to feel like I'm dragging them to a movie that they don't want to see. This looks legitimately good, and like it's going to have some good scares in it, some good world building, some good tension building, and some good jump scares as well. I have a lot of faith in Leigh Whannell to be able to pull this off. I like Christopher Abbott. I love Julia Garner. I have faith in her to pull off whatever she tries to. You know, she has so much range. She has so much talent. So I like, good job, Blumhouse. Good job, Universal. Good job, everybody on the trailer. Let me know if you guys feel the same way that I do. Let me know if I missed something. Let me know. Just let me know. Are you going to go see this movie? What'd you think of the trailer? Thank you so much for watching. Bye.